Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to be talking about the treasure spawn that just came out. They need to add a system. Honestly, I see it costs 35 and they need to add a system that free to plays can catch up to pay to wins to a certain level, like to a certain height. Like usually always be a couple steps behind free to pay to wins, because pay to wins help keep this game stable, but they really need to add a free to play system where free to plays can catch up to pay to wins. With that being said, not all the way, but like to a certain extent. With that being said, let's get to the spawn. For the spawn, you gotta spawn once. You have a chance to get the an SSR, and you have a super small chance when you're spawning to get this featured monster right here. You will have 6 chests. This is what a treasure spawn is, and this is what it's for. Throughout the 6 chests, you'll be able to get one of these things right here. And when you do your first spawn, you'll be able to choose 2 chests. And whenever after you hit a jackpot, you'll be able to choose 2 chests, but other than that, you'll only be able to choose 1. With that being said, let's get to the actual spawn itself. Now this spawn is going to be a spawn where you ain't got to worry about the feature gear. You want to worry about what's in the medals itself, and considering that most of the stuff would be in the medals that's already been in the latest treasure spawn so far, you don't really have to worry much about this, but let me cover this just in case you're still curious and want to know. This monster right here is for player versus enemy, player versus player, not player versus enemy. I could come up with 2 30 cost monsters and a couple 32 monsters off the bat. Emogus and her counterpart, I can't think it's the dark or the fire one, but Emogus and her counterpart, Emogus and Simone, Tristan, Grimory, and Bastet, and Urza Scarlet. Those are 32 costs and 30 costs I could come up with off the bat that are better than this monster for player versus enemy. So I'm not recommended for player versus enemy. There are dozens of monsters that are more compatible and suitable for player versus enemy than this monster itself. Player versus player though, with the ability power she has and how many times she attacks, she could pretty much lower the enemy team's health below half. And the fact that she locks when Unison attacks for all enemies for 120 seconds also makes her good with all the other stuff she also does. All the other stuff's a bonus though, because usually in other monsters, most monsters have at least half of what she has plus more. Anyways, the downside to the lock win unison effect is not a lot of people use win unison anymore. I see a lot of people using dark, fire, or light in my guild, and when I do guild battles and I'm in rank A and I'm in A schedule. And for the most part, when you're fighting extremely pay to wins, between what they will either use Aquarius, Fang, a resurrection monster, Aquarius, Fang, another resurrection monster, or like Tormillion, because those are all like the metas now. And Zeldris, I forgot to mention Zeldris from the 7 Deadly Sins collab, because those are all meta now, and that's what's really gonna take the cake out of everything. And Kyrot too, but as you can see where I'm going with this, out of all those, only one's win unison and the rest aren't, so you by far will have a small chance of meeting people with win unisons that are actually going to be bothersome at all. So usually, you're not even going to have to worry about win unisons, and it's not worth grabbing this monster. Even though she's player versus player, as you can see, her win unison's not that very helpful, and they already have prohibit unison. These are both status alignments that can be moved by mass refresh. Prohibit unison does the same thing, and sure, it doesn't last as long, and sure, there's a chance, but it prohibits people from using any types of unisons. It doesn't just prohibit them from win, but it prohibits them from using any types of unisons. That's why I don't recommend this monster. Alrighty, so for the treasure spawns, for the treasure medals themselves, you got the star stuff in here, so that's pretty good. So if you ever want the cosmetic, it's pretty cheap. It's 1,900 medals. Usually they're 3,000 medals. Going with that though, costs 33 weapons, it costs 34 armor, so you're gonna get some good gear score. But between the red dragon stuff and the red dragon armor, the star armor has better gear score, but the red dragon armor has better skill. So either way, you're gonna be getting a decrease in damage, by the skill, but also you're going to be getting a decrease in gear score by the star stuff. So it's really whatever one works for you. Actually, I would recommend the red dragon stuff, because if you're still going to be getting a decrease either way, because this one's superior in skill and this one's superior in gear score, I'd go for the red dragon stuff, because you have less cost that you're using, and you could put that cost to somewhere else to actually increase your gear score in general, and boost your performance. That's what I was trying to say, boost your performance. So unless you're going for the cosmetics, or you're more concerned about the gear score other than the skill, then you could go for the star stuff. It's really all what you want. I personally, myself, on my perspective, would go for the red dragon stuff. With that being said, let's get to the other stuff. These weapons are 33 costs. They have an ability to replace your attack. That's what these abilities are. They're here to replace your attack, and these are not bad abilities, so I'd go for these. 33 costs, and they have the testaments, so they give good gear score and they help with damage. Now, if you have extra classes, these are extra class weapons. Usually, if you're going for the berserker, I would go for the relic first and then the staff. Even if you do have already a relic, I'd still go for a second relic, because unlike the staff, the relic will actually get a bonus boost, because it's actually designed for the berserker. And when you complete the skill tree and you see like that thing on the side, it says boost certain weapons by a certain amount of their natural stats, the relic will get the boost and the staff won't. Even though both of them are designed skill wise for berserker, the relic will get the boost and the staff won't. So even if you already have these relics, I'd still go for them. And then at the very bottom, these are nice cosmetics, by the way. Also, they have really not a lot of nice cosmetics in here too. Reflection's one of the best skills, defensive skills that have proc rate on them in general. Chance to greatly reduce physical and magical damage taken, and reflect to reduce damage back to your attacker. This is very good, because not a lot of gears have reflection. They usually have physical or magical reflection, and they're in the reflection family. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it has physical or magical reflection. If it has a reflection in it, it counts as the same skill. It can only be stacked twice. So it's best to get a reflection that has physical and magical damage in it, so you can stack those twice, and thus decreasing how much damage you actually take. Now, I would only really recommend these pieces right here, these pieces, for starters, people who really don't have much 30 cost or higher stuff, and it's easy to get. All you gotta do is get one jackpot, or unless you get the summoning scroll, which is very not likely, you really only gotta get one jackpot for the stuff to actually obtain it. So that's pretty good itself. I recommend this stuff for starters, not really for late gamers, but for starters, because late gamers, they have better versions of the stuff. They have 32 and 35 cost versions of the gear right here that is Reflection XL. So really, I'd recommend this for starters overall. But that's it for this spawn. I hope this helped out, and this is the AzureWrath. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.